Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode of All Things Christian Rock News. We are in an absolutely crazy time in the world right now, so I hope that everyone is, being safe out there, being smart, taking care of themselves, taking care of the people they care about. On the bright side, y'all don't really have much else to do other than be on the internet, listen to music. First bit of the news, I'm sure that all of you are aware that pretty much all shows are canceled or rescheduled, but with that said, it is nice to see a lot of these tours are getting rescheduled, so you will have that to look forward to. Make sure any shows that you were planning on going to and didn't get to go to, following closely on those bands' social media so that if they do reschedule, you are aware of it and you can make it back out to those shows. Speaking of having extra time on the internet, I am happy to say that this is the biggest month for all things Christian rock. We've got more subscribers in the last month than we have any other month, I think, as we just reached over 100 subscribers. Thank you. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, share with your friends, get them to subscribe, all that great stuff that all the YouTubers say. Like I said, not a lot going on. Pretty much this whole video is just going to be talking about some new music that is out. And quite honestly, you can just skip to this right here, this time, because an easier way to get updated with all sorts of new music is just follow the All Things Christian Rock Spotify playlist. There is a link to that in the description of this video. And then also link in the description for this as well, the All Things Christian Rock Facebook page. I am sharing stuff on that all the time. That is another great way to stay up to date. So for anyone who watched the last episode of All Things Christian Rock News, all of those albums, I believe, have dropped now. So that would be Taming Tongues by Dens. Honestly, this album blew me away. I listened to it way too much, probably. Also out now, it came out the same day, Prettiest of Things by Earth Groans, an EP. Really cool, crazy listen. It is one of 2 EPs that Earth Groans will be releasing this year, so make sure you check that out and keep up to date with them so that you hear their other EP when it drops. Brooke Reeves of Impending Doom solo project Man of God has released 2 new songs since the last episode of the news. If you're not listening to it, make sure to check it out. I don't think he's doing like a structured album. I'm pretty sure he's just kind of making these as he goes, but they're really fun. Death Trap, it's a thing. Listen to it. It's crazy. It weirds the crap out of my brother. Declaration by Red has come out now. It is their first independent release. They had teased half of the album before it even dropped with singles and the Evening Hate EP, but I gotta say, the other half of the album might be my favorite half. Maybe it's the mystery aspect of it. Those are probably some of the heaviest songs that Red has ever written. I would venture out to say this is probably their heaviest album that they've ever written. It's very Korn sounding, very new metal sounding. If you're a fan of that kind of stuff, if you're a fan of Red, make sure you're listening to it if you haven't checked it out yet. If you have only heard the singles and stuff, go ahead and listen to the rest of the album, give the other songs a try. Spoken has a couple new singles out. J.R. Barris, previously of Love and Death, I believe is his name, also previously of Islander. He is doing the guitar work on the upcoming Spoken record. The 2 new singles are The Way Back Home and Awaken Me. Both are awesome tracks, and they are in the playlist. Guardians by August Burns Red is out, and it is one of the craziest metalcore records I've heard in a while. I honestly wasn't a huge fan of the first single they dropped, Defender. I thought it was okay. It didn't blow me away or anything. It just sounded like August Burns Red. But I gotta say that the album does have some hidden gems. Specifically, Lighthouse is really, really emotional. We're starting to see some clean singing from August Burns Red, which that's not like a new thing, but like specifically coming from Jake is really interesting. It still feels very much like an August Burns Red album, but it's definitely a fun new listening experience as well. For anyone who would care, by Christian metal band Tundra, we just put out our new album today. It is our debut full-length album. I wrote, mixed, recorded it myself. It's been a few years coming. Anyone who's willing to check it out, please do. It's been fun. We were going to be playing shows around now, but obviously with the corona situation, it's kind of hard to do that. But if you'd go ahead and give our album a listen, it's on all streaming platforms. It would mean a lot to us. It's on the heavier side. There is some clean singing on a handful of the tracks, but for the most part, it's very, it's almost deathcore in a sense. So I would say, like, if you're a fan of like Whitechapel or Impending Doom or something like that, you'd probably dig it. So that covers it for releases that were talked about in the previous episode. Fit for a King dropped a track called Breaking the Mirror. Very radio-friendly metalcore, if that's a thing. Kind of Killswitch Engage, As a Lay Dying kind of sound. A little different than some of their previous work. Lyrically very uplifting, which is a cool polar opposite of what we saw on their last record, Dark Sky. If you go back a couple videos ago on the YouTube channel, I did a reaction. If you care to see that, check that out as well. While I'm on the note of recent things on the channel, I also just recently started the All Things Christian Rock podcast. Not sure if it's up on Spotify at this point, but it is on on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out. The first episode just came out recently. It was just me and my brother just having a normal conversation about Red's new album, Declaration. I'm not really sure where I'm going to be taking the podcast, but I'd like to do those kind of things where I can just get like 1 or 2 people and just have a discussion over a band or an album or any kind of weird situation that might come up. I don't really know, but if you guys have ideas for that, either comment on this video or comment on that video, ideas you might have for future episodes. I'd also be willing to have those discussions with you or other people and maybe bands or something if we can make that work over the phone or over video chat or whatever. Deathbreaker are dropping a full-length record called Isolate on May 29th through Facedown Records. The first single for the record, called Spite, is out now. It is crazy heavy. It's a fun listen. Check it out. I made a post about this on the Facebook page, but I'll go ahead and mention it in this video as well. One of my college professors is Aaron Crawford, who is the drummer for Everything in Slow Motion. On Monday, he mentioned the new Everything in Slow Motion record will be done, being mixed within the next week. After they give feedback on any corrections to the mixes, it'll get shipped off to be mastered. They've already got one guest vocal spot down, someone else from a Facedown Records band, and then they have another one that they are trying to land right now. There's no set release date as of right now, but he is expecting a late fall release. Kind of last thing I want to mention in this video, also along the lines of Facedown Records, their albums are on sale for download right now. I'm sure with the way the world is right now, there's a ton of sales going on, so just be updated with any of the record labels you love or any of the bands you listen to. Just see if they have sales going on. It's hard for bands to make their money because 75% of their income comes from playing shows, and we can't play shows right now. So any way that you can financially support them. Streaming doesn't really pay artists much. If that's like your easy way to support a band is just streaming, do some research, figure out what streaming platforms pay artists more and use those. I'm used to using Spotify, but I know that Apple Music and Google Play do give artists more money, so if you use those as your defaults, continue doing that. If you can buy a t-shirt, if you can buy an album, whatever you can do to help these artists, it would mean a lot to them. That's about all I got for this video. Make sure to subscribe, share it with your friends, follow the All Things Christian Rock Spotify page, hit like on the Facebook page, all that great stuff. Like I said at the beginning of the video, stay safe out there, look after each other, be smart, be clean, don't get sick, all that great stuff. And I will see you guys in a future video. God bless.